Everything with Melissa Athalia. Today we're going to be working on the Delilah flower project, so stay tuned. Cardstock paper, what you're gonna do is cut them into little small squares. I prefer to get the same measurement. I just fold it in half and then match the tips, the corners to each other, and then I match this other these other corners, and then just fold it all the way through. Then I cut this into half. Then I fold these to an even size, so that way you have the same measurements. But if you want to be really precise to what you want, you can get a ruler and get the correct measurements, and that way you don't have to worry about folding this or the wrong way. I just do it this way because there's a lot to cut, and I know that the squares are going to be the same size once I get them done. So depending on how big you want this flower to be, this is the amount that you're going to be needing. You're going to be needing quite a bit. Alright, so the squares are cut now. See? Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is how we're going to get this into this already cut circle cardboard. So basically you're going to take these two ends of this square, and then you're going to turn this left side in and then the right side to be on top of each other. So basically kind of like a cone. And then you're going to glue it right here. And make sure that when you're doing these, they're all the same size. It looks like a cone, but this tip is right in the center. Once you get this end glued in, if you feel this one's still kind of opening around and is still like sticking out, I would go ahead and glue it here as well. So you're gonna do this for all these squares. Okay, so now that we have all those squares form into the cones, we're gonna go ahead and start gluing them around the circle. And this is gonna start forming the Delilah flower. So you're just gonna glue the end of the tip. So you're just going to glue the tip of this cone, and then glue the tip here on the edge of the circle and press on. And it doesn't matter if it's flat, because you're going to be overlapping more. So keep in mind that when you're actually adding the cones, you're going to have to give them space, because once you give the space, you're going to be putting another cone in between them, and that's what's going to be forming the flower itself. So just keep adding on. This one's kind of like loose. Add more glue if you need to, and make sure they're all in the same angle when you're adding them. So not one stick. That way you don't have some sticking out and some are shorter than the other ones. So this is all aligned. You can go ahead and add in the next cone. Just glue the end right here. cones, what we're gonna do in order for them to fit right in the center, we have to cut the tips so that when they're standing, they're around the same size. So just keep cutting until you get to the size. You still need more. Okay, and then you're gonna go ahead and glue the sides so that way it sticks there. And hold it and press on. And do the same thing with the other ones. Perfect. And for the last one. So overall we ended up using 79 or 80 little cones for the leaves of the Delilah flower. And just for your personal reference, if you want to use this to hang it on a wall, you can always, at the back of this cardboard, you can get one of those clips, glue it with the glue gun, and then you can put a nail on the wall and just hang it. And the next step would be to paint them. Before you start painting them, make sure you take all the excessive glue that's hanging out so that doesn't get stuck in there when it's painted. So now that I've actually cleaned up the excessive glue that was hanging, just kind of look around and see if there's any more. And it's clean, I mean it's all ready to go. So the next step would be to actually put paint on the tips of the flower, making this black Delilah have a golden tip on the leaves, and we'll make it look more like an iron interior design decor. So with the sponge brush, you're gonna clean up the excessive paint. Just want a little bit of dabbing and just light it, a little bit of paint, and then just dab it here so you can take the excessive paint and start going over the tips. You don't want it to be too excessive. It's been painted. Now you gotta do is let it air dry for a day. You got your Delilah metallic flower. You can hang it on a wall and it looks like one of those home goods decor. Hope you enjoy it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye.